We are here. It is having fun with J&J here, everybody. How are you doing? Friday, right, Jeanette?
It's Friday, and it's a hot Friday where I'm
It's
at.
hot Friday.
Yeah.
It's warm
We
here
have
too.
we have a very, very amazing artist for you today. And he's currently not in his home state, but we have never had anyone from Alaska. And we are so excited to have Samuel Gordon Dimmick.
Mm-hmm.
We call him Sam, but he's going by his I think his professional name. But we never fail to bring you the most interesting and the most absolutely talented craftspeople that are all around the United States. It, we seem to be able to find people that are just, their stuff is just so cool. So we're not going to delay this one because we want to hear all that he has to say. We tried not to interview him. I got in trouble for that because I was already asking him questions. But on Having Fun with J&J today, we have Samuel Gordon Dimmick. He is from Alaska. And he's going to tell you, he's got his Alaska original art. We're going to share some of his stuff with you. But Jeanette, take it away. I want you to get him started because we have a lot to say.
And the fact is, for the first time, I'm stumped. Sam, where did we meet? Or you found me? Oh, I found you. Where did we meet?
I think it was a I think it's a app for communication for.
Okay. I thought so. I was like, okay, where I was like, I forgot where we met because it's been like talking, and he was so interesting, and I found him, and I said, oh my gosh, I have to bring this guy on the show, and I immediately called him, and then he made me laugh. Great sense of humor, but what I love most is what he does. But I'm gonna start with the question that I always start, which is, how on earth did you start this marvelous art of?
Well, it's traditional Eskimo art. I've seen my uncles do amazing things when I was very young, and they didn't say a whole lot. I just watched them, and I guess I get it from them, but I'm still in a learning process. It will never stop. So it's a challenge every day, but I take on challenges and I complete them to my best ability.
So when did you make your first piece of art when you were a child? And
Well,
it kind of
actually, when I was 4 years old, my uncles were with other elderly Native men, and he told me to cut some ivory for him, and I had to sit on the floor with a vise and a hacksaw. So I learned then, but I guess it was just a step in the right direction for me to watch them and listen to them more, and I did, and I still do.
And so what did you think about doing something? First of all, you use what are your raw materials? It's
Well,
just ivory.
no. I had 7 different teachers that devoted their time to me. They really did. And I guess the reason why is that they wanted me to carry on tradition. And that's why I pushed myself. But only hard stones, nothing soft, alabaster, pyrrolite, chlorite, and then I use all different types of bones, whalebone, bone, skeleton of the wall, and many bones. Like the male and
Sam,
We're having a hard time hearing you, and I don't want people to miss this.
yeah, Sam, we're gonna do something. I'm gonna do something now that is gonna make it clear because we gotta hear what you're saying, and they know that I kind of you're breaking up. We didn't hear anything, so I'm gonna call, but I can't call you because you're on your phone, so that won't work.
Yeah, well, you know what? Can we get his audio instead, just from the phone?
It won't happen like that because he's on his phone.
If he answers the phone, won't his audio come through and we can?
But no, you don't understand. If he answers the phone, he will. Yeah, it loses his thing. He just dropped off.
Okay, call him and see if we can get his audio.
Because his audio, yeah, we're. Let me see.
Yes.
Okay, can you hear him?
Yes.
Sam, go ahead. Now we can hear you because unfortunately the video we caught only the broken sound. We couldn't hear anything. And so we didn't know if that was your connection or something. So now we can hear you clearly over the phone. So go ahead, and if you want, we'll have you on the phone, and I'll make sure that we'll have like we have the picture of your product showing on the video. And that way we know. We also have a picture of you if we need it, and we can go ahead and put you on there. Is that okay?
Okay. Well, it actually stopped, but I can reload it though.
Okay.
You know what? Let's try this for a little bit, and then when we take a commercial break, we can see if we can bring it back on.
Bring you back.
People to hear about his products.
Coming back on right now.
It is coming back on. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But try it.
That's it. And this is live TV, and this is what happens when folks and no, I'm talking to the audience that things happen, and he's in New Mexico, and the Wi-Fi over there is not very good. I'm noticing, let me see, I got him adding to stage, but it's not coming up.
Isn't that stuff beautiful?
It is gorgeous. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, you're not coming on.
It's not. Yeah, I can see that.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and just talk to you for a minute, and then we'll go to commercial. We'll try to bring you in.
So tell us again, that's clear, about the raw materials that you're using.
Yeah, so go ahead and say again what the raw materials you're using.
What I am using is hard stones, such as powerline.
Oh.
She dropped him. Hold on. She dropped you, Sam.
Huh?
Okay, now go ahead, Sam. I'm going to do something here.
I would I put it all together. It shouldn't, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not. But I did learn a laminating thing from one of my teachers. It's kind of neat, and not everybody knows how to do it. I kind of keep it a secret.
So when you're doing, like, we're looking at a picture of your earrings, which are very cool. So those are different raw materials, right?
Welcome to all
Yes.
And then the little bear that's lying on the pedestal, what is he made out of? Ivory?
Yes, walrus ivory, fresh walrus ivory. The older ivory has color to it. It was once we used it as a food source, and the ivory is malleable, and so it was used as tools. And so when there's time involved, it gets older. Probably 5,000, 6,000 years old when it gets color in it, been buried. But the fresh ivory stays white, but it will turn yellow in probably 40, 50 years.
So the polar bear that I'm looking at now, that's got looks kind of like an orangey or bronzy color across the shoulder, that's older ivory?
Oh, the big one is real big?
He's got a little collar on him. I'm just seeing his head and his shoulders, but he's got an orange.
That's made out of alabaster, he said.
Oh, that's alabaster. Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
So where do you get the ivory? Because we hear all these horrible, the stories. People are going to go ivory. you're killing elephants for ivory, which I don't think there's any in Alaska. But where is the ivory coming from?
Well, it comes from walruses. Our people still use walrus as a food source because if you think about it, they cannot eat American food. They just can't digest it. So the traditional food is there, and I would say that walrus ivory is more of a commodity. It's like a currency to the native people where I'm from. It's it's traded. It's better than having money. Money is paper.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But it's a more of a commodity, and then it's a learning experience for the younger generations to learn with. But not everybody does that these days. It's kind of dying off. I personally believe that.
So,
Okay.
so do you have a within? So, and I don't want to be as part of my ignorance, but this is a learning curve for me, and I'm glad to be able to talk to a Native person that can give us more information as opposed to learning it from someone who doesn't know. So,
Right.
are you from a specific? Are you a tribe or a community? Your people, or is it kind of Alaska Native? How is that? How is that?
If you're born Alaskan Native and you live by the coast where the walruses congregate and live, you are allowed to harvest them and use the ivory. As far as tribes, those are for Indian people, and we are not Indian people. We're Eskimo people.
Eskimo people.
Japanese are just Japanese. We're just Eskimo. So it's just a way that I look at it. But there is different people like Yupik and Inupiat. The Eskimo lives on the coastal near the water in the interior of Alaska are Indian people. There is tribes. So as far as anybody doing ivory, I guess you can, but it's a born right to do traditional art if you want. And other people look at it differently. They think ivory is the same, but it's not. And that's why I don't have a website, because some people are hate me because of that. I can have this and they cannot. I work at U.S. Fish and Wildlife a lot wherever I go, any state, and some people do call in on me, but I don't care. They don't care, as long as I'm legal and they know who I am.
What do you mean?
Do everything right.
What do you mean when you say legal?
I'm an Alaska Native artist. I was born in Nome, Alaska, which gives me the right to do the traditional art that I do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think from the standpoint of just a standard 48, this is why I was asking Sam, because we hear the stories from Africa where people are killing elephants for their ivory, and they mutilate the elephant and they take the ivory, and so the animal's killed. And so there's a big misconception about being able to use certain raw materials to create art, but you have permission, because the walruses where you would get them from are actually food sources for you, and the tusk are part of that food source, correct?
It's not a permission. It's a right.
It's a right.
It's right. Right. Because you think about it, permissions are for other people, not us. Not the Alaska Native people. We're born into this. Permissions are for other people that like, wow. But I don't push it. I just, I'm happy-go-lucky to be alive and doing what I do and presenting, Alaska Native tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're looking right now at the walrus head, and it's beautiful. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It's the walrus head, and it's on a little pedestal, but I can't see the end of it. What is that object? Is it?
Oh, that's a walrus tusk. One of my teachers, his name is Lee Malott, but he's passed away, and he was from Idaho. He's Nez Perce Indian, and back in the 50s and 60s, he traveled all along the coast of Alaska. He was a master carver, period. And he taught the natives a lot of things, and in turn, the natives taught him a lot of things also. So that's where that comes from. It comes from Nunavut Island. It's the island off the coast of the west coast of Alaska in the midsection. And if the people there are they're carvers, but when those are made, they're made by a chief. And if you can do that carving, you are considered the chief. So I learned that from him. That's the reason why they were made. And in Alaska, it seems like most of the native guys are carvers, okay? But it takes a lot of practice, and it takes teachers to teach like what I do. If it wasn't for my teachers, I wouldn't know nothing. I probably had a 9-to-5 job, honestly. I really would. But I'm grateful for that they saw something in myself that I didn't see. And now it pushes me on a daily basis. Daily, I'm doing like 25 things at a time today, and it would never stop. I feel good about what I do and who I am.
Wow.
We're looking right now at the orcas is that an eagle? So there's three things. There's three orcas, and then there's an eagle on the table, and then another, probably a shark.
Yeah.
Yes,
exactly.
On the orcas.
Stone.
Go ahead.
The orcas, what's the black made out of?
Chlorite. It's made out of chlorite stone. It's actually dark green, but once you get it sanded and covered, it turns black. It's inlaid with white alabaster, so it looks just like a orca. A long time ago, when I was younger, my teacher, we only had green stone, like the color of those green, the green on the salmon. That's the only kind of stone we could get in Alaska. And he told me a long time ago, one day that you'll find the black stone and inlay it like this, do this. He told me this. So he's never seen that, but I do it because he told me about it. This is way back before there was internet, long distance phone calls, all this stuff. So he knew about it, but he just didn't, couldn't conceive actually doing it. But now I do it. So I feel good. I do.
Oh, that's great. You should be good. We're seeing some beautiful work here, and you do great work. I'm serious. That's why, don't you say that you travel all over the world in the States?
Well, no, I travel all over the country. You cannot take ivory out of the country, not unless it's old ivory. But fresh ivory and bones, you cannot take it out of the state. No, out of the United States, I mean.
But you can.
No, I cannot
take
it out of the United States. It has to be a U.S. thing. It's like over in Canada, it's easy to get, but you can't bring it across the border. It's cheap, but you cannot bring it across the border. So it's a local United States only. And so, the United States is big enough for me to play around in,
Okay. So I think it's pretty big and stuff.
I'm looking at the panda bear.
Oh, that's alabaster and the chlorite stone. A mixture of the two. The white and the black. I said, hey, I could do a bear out of that. And it's big. It's sold a long time ago, but I just keep the picture as a reference. I mean, I can do that stuff quick. I mean, it doesn't take long. It's all in my mind. It's just like anything else in people's minds. If you just put your hands and eyes together and and get it done. It's relatively quick. Everything is quick now for me.
Wow. That is great. That is wonderful. But you don't only work with that, you also work with wood, because right now Jenny brought up flutes with eagle heads and bear heads on it.
No, those are pipes.
Those are what?
Pipes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought they looked like flutes.
They do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I attended let me see, where was that, in Wisconsin, and it was out of my league. Far as they didn't understand me, I didn't understand them, but they accepted me as an Alaska Native artist, and they, I had some usiks, which are a male member of a walrus. And they thought they were flutes also. And I says, no. That's just something I brought up. But anyway, they're pipes, and they're functional. There's a hole all the way through it. And there's a bowl in there. And I can make them out of stone or bone or ivory. It doesn't really matter. I think it's the equipment that I have makes life a whole lot easier for me.
I see that you are showing your equipment behind there. We see, Jenny, go back to the other one. I want to see his equipment. It's all in the back with all the different
the drill bit, the bits
drill bits and all that. How long does it take you to make a pipe?
Oh, I could do one in probably 20 minutes.
What?
Probably. But why make just one? I make 10 of them at a time. It might take me an hour,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's not a production thing. It's all one of a kind. But it's just like the bits that you see; those are just for bone and ivory, and I have another set just for stone that I have to replace, because you cannot do stone and turn around and use it on ivory, because it doesn't work that way. You have to have dedicated bits just for stone and one for ivory and bone. So what you see, I have twice as much as what you see.
See all this above. We're showing that looks like a dragon head, and behind it are all your bits.
And then there's a piece of wood of something there.
It's like a handle.
Oh, dragon's head. No,
it's not a dragon. Is it an eagle? Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's I do ulus. For Alaska, I do probably 18 of those a week.
What's an ulu?
And it's a woman's knife, a knife for a woman. I have the blades right here, but you guys can't see them.
Okay. And I'm gonna take that note, because I really want to see your work, and we're showing it on and everything. Let's go ahead and do some commercials real quick, and see if we can get your connection on, that we can bring you on, and so you can show your work. Okay. So, people, thank you for and we'll be right back with more of Sam Dimmick's art. Hold on. right. We got 2 pictures of him.
We got 2 Sams. two for one.
Wow.
So we want to get rid of this one, right, Jeanette?
Hold on. Let me think. Which one? I think the one that's better. I'm looking at it. I need him to talk a bit. I want the one that we can hear him. Sam, say something.
There it is.
Here it is.
Hi.
Okay. All right, Sam.
Right.
Now we can bring up the pictures. Jenny, bring up the pictures, and then he can talk about his work.
Okay. Because it's really just amazingly gorgeous.
Never a dull moment having fun with
I'm not. It never. This is something. Which one's it, Sam?
Okay. That is a minke whale jawbone. If from the bottom to the top, it would make a bow. That's the left side. Yeah, the left side, and it's actually two carvings on. If you the next photo is the other side of that carving. No. It goes. There was a 2-sided one. Well, I don't think I didn't send the photo,
Okay.
but if you see there's an eagle's head right there sticking out
Right here.
by the one fish. Well, there's a complete eagle flying on the other side. That is in a museum in Washington State.
Wow.
It looks like wood, but it's not. It's a jawbone from a minke whale.
What is this?
That is that was the best of show at the Utah History Museum, Historical Society. History Museum. That's the Nunavak style carving. It's completely carved, the whole thing. And that's the person that bought that.
Sam, can I just tell you that this is such a, Jeanette and I talked to a lot of crafters and artisans, and people don't realize that this kind of art is not only history, but it's such an informative. We don't see this stuff anymore because people, everything's computerized and everything's on the computer. But this is heritage and history and culture, and it's so amazing. I mean, it's like I'm a history buff, and I just look how gorgeous it is with the little baby.
What's that?
Yeah, that's
whale.
A narwhal, and it's on the bottom of that is a cheek of a walrus. The cheek right here where the tusks come out at the bottom. If you see I think it's at this on the left side, that's where the tusk would come out. But that's thousands of years old. It's the cheek of a walrus. It's real pretty stuff. And I thought the mixture of the two would go together, and it really does.
I love it.
It's gorgeous. Mm-hmm. I just love the little baby. I like the little baby. This one. Yeah. Okay.
That
first place. Just saying.
No, it was second. It was second place, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah. I got first.
No, the one that the lady was holding, the long tusk, that took best of show in first place. Okay. But this one only took second place. But that's has 2 carvings on it. That's a rib bone from a whale. If you see the next photo, you see the other side of that.
Hopefully.
That's the other one. No. I didn't get it. They may have been out of sequence. Let me see if I can find it. Is that original boat? Is that what they used to hunt with?
Yes. Yes, that's called an umiak. I studied at University of Washington Eskimo art, and I had a chance to see some of my people's work. That's from the 1700s. That is right there. It's been preserved. But I watched my uncles make those all the time, so it wasn't new to me. I did.
Oh, there's the other side.
Oh, yes, that's the other side right there. That went cool. To a collector in Houston, Texas. I have collectors all around the country, and when I do win, they will buy them. They will.
How much? Just curiosity. I just want to know if I can afford anything like this. How much when you go to these shows? Like, how much does you can do a range. You don't have to say the exact price. How much does something like that go for?
The large whalebone.
Mm-hmm. Or the eagle. Go back to the
Yeah,
eagle.
it was two. It was two sides. It's
Uh-huh.
like there's the fish on the salmon on the other side of that. So it's two sides. It goes for about $9,500.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
Yeah.
that's
But see, these are, it's funny because um, we never look at art. A lot of people look at art differently, but to me, this is like, I don't know. It's just so, for the United States, from its very beginnings, this takes you all the way back to the history, and you're bringing all of that art and culture, which is part of being a Native people, and it's just gorgeous. I mean, and you know what? We have another artist or crafter that uses his surroundings to create products. So
the beaver man.
he never runs out of product, and I think it's like you. Like, do you just find stuff? Do you go look for it? Do you just, you're on the beach out there in Alaska, and you just happen to run across?
It has to be carvable for one thing to have it. I mean, you can have a bone, but it can go right through it. It's so soft. So you have to look for hardness and able to take the detail that I put into it, and that's where people can see things. But if it has a lot of holes in it, it's not any good. It's not. It has to be durable. And where I get them is from St. Lawrence Island, Alaska, Barrow, Togiak. I have, and my people naturally they give me things, and I give them things in return because they know what I do.
What is this made out of? This pipe?
That's walrus ivory. The white part is, and then the black part is ebony, and then the tip is ivory. So you have ebony and ivory like a piano.
Yeah, like the fingers. Ivory.
That's
so funny.
Is this your tribal?
What's with the face paint? Were you going somewhere?
No, you know those black whales that you see that I do?
Yeah.
The black whales, the orcas. Well, that's what the color of the stone is right there. Oh. That's when I machine those, grind them, that's what happens every single time. I would be covered in dust right now.
Oh, so you're wearing a mask over your face.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh. I would be covered in dust right now if I didn't have to do this, because I like I said, I do a lot.
Okay, so we're back to this because I really wanted you to explain this right here. I love that polar bear.
Yeah. My teachers, I never seen them do a polar bear. I never seen them do one, but they told me how to do it. So I usually pick a stone that probably weighs 40 pounds at least. That way I can get movement out of the bear. So even just the head is sticking up higher than the body. Little stuff like that really helps, because I've seen other people make bears and they look like you're holding a gun on them or something. I try to get movement out of whatever I do.
This is all one piece, right? This is all one. Yes.
Yeah, that's 35 pounds right there, finished product. Gosh. It's big.
My gosh.
It's not small. Well, the trick is to doing something heavy like that is that it doesn't move when you machine it. When you work on it, it doesn't move. It's so heavy. Whereas something small, you grind your hand off.
Oh yeah, it's hard to. Now, is this salmon? What is this?
Yep.
That's not salmon.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
It's
steelhead?
No, it's a salmon, but it's almost life size. It's about 22 inches long, made out of stone, pyrolite. And that also went to a museum in Washington State. But that's the different gradients of a single stone. It shows it right there where it can be white or red. I choose red stone to make red salmon, but I did not put a green head on that one. It was too much.
I just want people to see the carving on the fins and the tail. My family's from Oregon, the southern part, so Rogue River, and did a lot of salmon fishing there.
Yes.
One thing my father used to get so irritated is there'd be kids with bow and arrows, and they'd shoot the salmon and they'd leave the salmon dead along the side of the river. Used to just irritate the jeebies out of him. He said,
Wow.
If you're hunting, you hunt for food. You don't hunt and waste it. That's a sin.
Exactly.
Is this the one with the baby?
Yes, it is.
Look at that. Oh, just so beautiful. Look at the tail, everybody.
Oh, I have another one right here.
Do you have one?
Yeah. See.
Let me see. Oh, look.
Oh no.
Put it more in your face. Yeah.
It's not done yet, though. It's not finished yet, though.
That's good.
Oh,
okay. That is
so it's different than a beluga. That's different. They have the same kind of heads. A bowhead whale.
Yeah, that's actual whale bone. That's the rib on the bottom. Actually, it was a whole one rib. That's all one piece. I just cut it to make those different pieces.
Wow.
Yeah. It's probably like 10 feet around, a half, like a C shape. That bone was a C shape, about 10 feet from the top to the bottom. The flat part is the bottom, and then where it connects at the top. So I cut that and I carved those out. So it's actually one piece that was from Nunivak Island, whale hunting, that a friend of mine gave to me. The actual bone, but I carved it. Yes, I did.
And it's just stunning work. It really is. Are these the ones that you're making like as a group to sell?
Well, sometimes I make them as a group. Like those are 7 inches, and these are like 10 inches right here that I have right here. But I have a lot of them. Honestly, they're right in front of me, but you just can't see them.
I'm looking at the tools, boy. Woo.
Yeah. He showed the front of his desk.
The tails are the green and they go into the red, and they almost look like uniform though.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you how
you know. Sometimes I use clear stone on sometimes, but not all the time, because you have to have hard stone, because these go out to people, and not everybody is real careful. Even though they spend thousands of dollars for these, they're delicate. It's just like glass. Honestly, they're like glass. It's so tough. It's a tensile hard stone. So sometimes I use different colors of stone. I think those were light green. Yeah, the fins on those.
That's
but
gorgeous.
The body, I have 2 different color stones that I use. I use a red and I use a pink right here, colors. So
red,
you have it's dark red, just like the other salmon.
Okay.
Okay, those are the ulus.
The what? The knives? I like those.
Yeah.
Every girl should have a knife like
that. Here's the blade right here that I insert once I carve those out. And they're women. They're called women's knives.
For skinning,
because
cleaning a skin and.
No. Well, you can cut anything with them. It's Damascus steel on the bottom, so it's really highly prized. So I make these for a company in Alaska, and so these are not used at all. They're just displayed. I don't think they're ever used. Honestly, I really don't.
I will use it.
I would.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that's an artifact. Matter of fact, this one that you have right here.
Yeah.
If you see a little hole at the top on the left hand side, there's a little hole there.
Yeah, right
Well, that
there.
was used as a weight for a net. A fishing net.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
a weight.
Fishing
Yeah.
net.
So I left that. Yeah, I left that there. I incorporated into the ulu itself. I did.
Okay.
Ooh, that's a beautiful.
That one's straight looking at me.
That's giving you the
Yeah,
eye.
that's a walrus jawbone. It's probably, I don't know, 4,000 to 5,000 years old by the time I get it. But somebody killed that many, many thousands of years ago and ate it and set it aside. It was buried and then dug up. But those probably weigh 9 pounds. That item
Wow.
right there. Yeah, I think the next photo is the side view of that. That's in a gallery. No, that's not. Oh, that's the other side of that. Those
That's the other
fish.
side of that. Yeah, with the.
She's
Yeah.
just clicking and not listening. She's just clicking.
I know. So I'm trying to find the other side of this, but it's not here. But then I clicked over, and it's the other side of the one we were looking at before.
Exactly. Yeah.
These aren't in any order. We put all this stuff in a folder, and so I'm perusing. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Let's see.
That was the best of show for that big tusk.
Go back.
Ad.
Now bring it up. I want to see it.
I did.
Okay, there you go. Oh, national. Okay.
Yeah. That was Utah History Museum in Utah.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to stop share so we can see Sam.
We were just enjoying the and believe me, yesterday he sent me about 35 of them. I was like, it's my person. What are you doing? I just
Well, she said to send the pictures. Well, why not? Load it up.
I do that the same thing. So do you have when you're in your home, at your home, do you have people come up and say, Sam, I want you to make me something?
No. The idea is I have so much inventory that I don't let people know where I work because I have to keep control of it. It's protected by U.S. Fish and Wildlife, yes, but I have to be the one in control of it. Ignorance is not the option here for what I do. So no, I don't let people know where I'm at and what I do. I really don't, and it's better that way because I've seen what happens to other. Huh?
So how do people order from you? Like, where do they have to go if they say, "Hey, I want that eagle thing," or "I want this, I want that"? Where do they order? How do they order?
Well, I have a gallery in that I've known for the lady for 45 years, Steinbrook Native Gallery in Seattle, Washington. And then Old Time Distributors in Anchorage, Alaska. And so a lot of times I end up not being able to sell things not unless I go to a show, even online, because I would be competing against the people that I sell to. And it comes up in my face. I said, wow, that wasn't smart. So I would say Alabaster One, my email address. And the other reason why I do not have a website is that it's because the people are ignorant to the fact that I can have ivory, walrus ivory. I can have it, but they don't look at it like that. And I don't need the hate mail. I don't need anybody interrupting what I'm trying to do. That's the only reason why. And the U.S. Fish and Wildlife said it's an option to do that. So I listen to them a lot. and they said it would keep me out of everybody's eyesight, but I'm still proud of who I am and what I do.
Well, you should be, and I think it's out of ignorance mostly. People only like to hear half of the story instead of the whole story, and it's a modern world where they go sanitized in a supermarket. They don't realize how that stuff got there.
Exactly,
Mhm.
like just like a native show. You see, these are tagged right here. There's a tag on here. It says U.S. Fish and Wildlife right here. You
Right.
see it?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, this is tagged right, and I can have this. And other natives ask me, "Can I have that or sell me some?" I says, "No, you can't have it." So they go off the deep end, saying I can't have it, and if they can't. So I just try to stay away from that. There's too many good people, and there's a few bad people, and that's why like I said, I don't have a website, and I do still have people, getting at me about this, that, and other. But anybody can own this right here. This is old ivory. That's actual ivory right there. See that? This
Yeah.
this also.
Oh, wow. It looks different until you form it, huh?
Well, this is an artifact right here. It has lines on it, and I wouldn't destroy that. I would keep that just like it is. Somebody made this thousands of years ago, one of my people, and I'm not going to change it. That'd be stupid. You know, other people would, but I would not. I like my people. I do.
Mm.
So, but just going back a second, I know we only got a few minutes, and Jeanette's going to do we always do a little inspired thing for the day. But
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
when did you decide to turn this into your life's calling and support yourself with it? What
I
age?
I I started out in the U.S. military as an aircraft mechanic, and I said to myself, I like this, but it's kind of dangerous stuff flying all the time, being around aircraft. And so when I was 19, I went to Native Art School in Anchorage. And that's where the teachers selected me to carry on their tradition. I realize that now, but back then I didn't think so. But I've been pushing myself since I was 19 years old.
Well,
Wow.
congratulations, they pushed you in the right direction. So
That's
instead of being an ANP, you
No,
bringing
I
your
was an
heritage,
aircraft mechanic.
huh?
I was an aircraft mechanic, a jet
Well,
mechanic.
once you got out of the military, you could have been a ANP and worked on airplane. I know my husband's a pilot, so you could have worked on aircraft instead of making beautiful art and bringing your culture and heritage to everybody. So I think we'd rather have you do this.
Yeah, it's better, and I don't see anything slowing down for me. And I appreciate what you guys do for me. Also, like now, it it encourages me to do more. It really does.
real.
I hope you don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop because it's
I
funny that
just
the
can afford a little. I can afford a little bear, maybe an earring.
Oh, really?
and
I've
Yeah,
got multiple, so I could do multiple earrings all the way down.
yeah, yeah. If you notice the earrings that I make, I probably make 100 pair at a time, but each one could have 5 different components. Each one. So it gives me a chance to be creative. The earrings do. Yeah, it does.
Oh, they're adorable. Okay, Jeanette, I know it's time. She's giving me the eye.
I would hate to see the price tag on that one. But anyway, but listen, that's one of the things that we talked about, how he gets hate, the people are hating on him because he does this marvelous work from Unique. So it's funny that today's message is welcome the stranger,
I like
right?
Yeah,
that.
And it says,
yeah.
remember to welcome strangers because some who have done this have welcomed angels without knowing it. Hebrews 13:12. How do you welcome a stranger? What does this look like for your life? right? How might someone act differently if they were aware that the stranger was indeed a piece of angel, right? And this day, stranger people use stranger for danger, stranger danger. But if they only knew the beauty of welcoming a stranger into your home so he can go ahead and give you the lessons of life that you don't know, that would be your angel. Because see, having him or a stranger come to you with their gifts, you never know whose gifts or what they do. So you are a stranger in this land, really, because see, you're from Alaska, right? But yet they don't want to accept your beautiful gifts that you carve because they don't know how, because of they do it out of jealousy. They talk to you so bad that they don't. But if they get the time to understand you and to welcome you and your gifts, is more powerful than anything else. See, people today have to give. Don't judge a book by its cover. You have to go ahead and just what God, Jesus' greatest command is love one another. And and if people was to love one another and accept one another, this would be a better place. So
Yeah.
that was my word for today. And I hope you enjoyed it. But oh my gosh, that your work is absolutely stunning. And I'm so glad that you're doing well with it. And I hope that we get to see you again when you're just, wearing do you ever we had a lady that, she makes Japanese dresses because she wanted to embrace, and she wasn't Japanese. She wanted to embrace the culture. Do you ever wear, when you go to shows, your Alaskan clothes or culture or something like that, or a costume or something?
Uh, I do make jewelry like bear claws, necklaces, and stuff like that. But as far as clothing, I'm dying out here. It's hot. I'm from Alaska, so I wear less than I can. I do. This is like too much. Like, are you kidding me? I can't do it. No. I wear. I
When, when,
wear.
he told us, when he told us he was in New Mexico, I was like, wow, that's a big, because I know Alaska has some very warm areas, beautiful areas, but for the most part, that's one place I have not been. My husband is actually Blackfoot Indian, part Blackfoot Indian, and he's out of Idaho, Seattle area. And that's a place he almost got a flying job there. He was going to fly in Alaska and he didn't take it. But Alaska is one of the places that I did want to go, but I didn't want to just go on a cruise. I want to
Yeah.
go there.
I'm gonna go discover it. She's a historian. She loves the history of things, and I like it too. So I'll probably be right there with her in my face, looking at everything. Me, in my country, we had the Taino Indians, and the Taino Indians were very well known to make pottery. Okay, I end
Uh-huh.
up making pots and fish tanks, but hey, I'm making something.
Yeah. Well, Alaska is way different. I would say it's like you can drive out of there, but it takes 3 days or
Yeah.
longer, or you can fly, but it's like being stuck in a fishbowl, kind of like, to me. There's a whole different world out here. You could see, Jack in a Box, whatever. I'm serious. Things that it's really tough there. It is the weather, mosquitoes. It's the cold. Um, I've been in 50 below and survived. I said, "Ooh, this is tough. I don't want to go through that again."
Now, I've had
No.
soldiers that they get paid to go to Alaska to do tours, and they get paid to live there. Is that true? In Alaska, people get paid to live there.
Well, they have a thing called the permanent fund. It was made through the oil pipeline back in the days, and so it gives money back to the community of the people that live there for a year or more. Yeah, it varies from year to year, probably $3,000 or $4,000 a year, I think. I mean, I'm not a part of that because I'm not there. You
Uh-huh.
know, yeah,
Wow.
but it's true.
There was a thing. I know we're gonna have to go, but there was a show we used to watch, and people would sell everything, and they would buy homes in Alaska, and there were always like these like people from New York, Like
Mm-hmm.
they live in upstate New York and they think, oh, we can do it because we live in Rochester or whatever, Syracuse, and we can go live in Alaska. And they go during the time when it's not cold, and they get their house and then they literally freeze their Canuckies off and then they have to come home and they bought a home. And look, I'm a SoCal girl and I was born and raised in Southern California. The only snow we got was the fake stuff that they used to put out in Disneyland. So
Exactly.
know that I don't know that I could do that, but I do know that the raw wilderness, it's just if you want to look at what the earth was like probably 500 years ago, 400 years ago, it's probably the same in some parts.
Yeah. Well, with that
Yes,
note,
yes.
we really have to go now because
Just going to make us go.
cut off. But we're
We
gonna
like Sam.
Sam, it was so good to see you. Don't go anywhere. We'll talk to you on the back
Stage, but
So we'll
thank
be
you
right
so much. Thank you, everybody.
back.
All right.
Creations of the heart, art that connects us.
Sound stripe.